Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Midweek Moment. It's been a few years now since we've moved from Chicago to Southern California, and already the boys are forgetting their roots and where they came from. Not only that, but they forget why we made this move. And one of the most important things for Jeff and I that we want them to remember is why we came here. We came here believing that the Spirit of the Lord was leading us, that God was calling our family to be on mission. And this last Sunday, as we are walking through this series in the book of Exodus, Pastor Joe talked to us about the importance of remembrance and on how Egypt had forgotten where their affluence even came from. And God calls over and over and over the Israelites to remember who it is that rescued them from the grips of Pharaoh. And this week, as we're walking through Exodus 12 and 13, and then we'll go to 14 and 15 on Sunday, God gives the Israelites very specific instructions for the Passover. And then he asks them to remember over and over again. In Exodus chapter 13, verse 3, God says, "Remember this day, which is the day that you came out of Egypt, out of the place you were slaves, because the Lord acted with power to bring you out of there." And as the Old Testament scriptures go on, and Leviticus and Numbers and Deuteronomy, over and over, God calls the Israelites to remember who it is that rescued them. So why is it so important for them to remember? Well, remembering shapes who we are. When we intentionally choose to remember the faithfulness of God, it reminds us of who we are, of who God says we are, of whose we are, and who God is. But not only that, in difficult times of transition, it shapes how we view the future. It gives us hope. It's a faith builder for the future. But we have such fragile and forgetful memories. We forget all the time when we're stuck in the mud and times are difficult. It's no wonder God told the Israelites to remember over and over. So I want to encourage you this week to remember the faithfulness of God. Journal a time when God met you in miraculous and amazing ways and showed God's faithfulness and showed you who you are and whose you are. And when you journal that, thank God about it and then share it with someone else because they just might need a faith builder this week. That's all for this week's Midweek Moment. See you on Sunday.